Hi everyone, my name is Nancy Anaya. For three things I learned about my family's ethnicity would be that my dad and his dad worked in the leather industry. So back then they would use a lot of leather in Mexico. So they would use like leather shoes, leather jackets, leather vests, leather purses, etc. Leather has been very much used and needed in Mexico. My mom's side of the family has a lot of people that have hazel eyes. So a lot of my family from probably like hundreds of years ago, I don't know, not hundreds of years ago, it's an exaggeration. So my great great grandmother married a Spanish man, and then her sister also married a Spanish man. Several of them married Spanish men, and then they ended up having children, and then their children had children. So that is why we have a lot of people with hazel and green eyes. The third thing would be something spiritually that I learned from both my parents is how much they have both been enforced to practice their faith. I have also experienced this by having them send me to church school and be involved in church. This has been very important for me because my grandpa, who's from Mexico, and my aunts also that are from Mexico, they very much would find comfort in their faith, which led me to end up eventually also finding comfort in the same faith that they practiced. It was very important because also in Mexico a lot of people believe in Christianity and Catholicism, so it's very nice. Three things that I have to present, two or three things. So the first one, what is this? This is just a simple leather jacket. So like I mentioned before, a lot of people in Mexico make leather. My grandpa has a lot of factories where they make leather. This one is really special to me because I actually helped make it. That's why there's no tag on it. So it was really fun helping him make it, and it was a nice moment with my grandpa that he ended up showing me how leather is done in the factory, and I never knew how much it actually took, like in details, like the stitching it and then like the inside, and then you can't wet leather at all because then it could potentially ruin the size, ruin the fabric. So yeah, this is a very special leather jacket that I made with him. I don't wear it. I try to just keep it in my closet just for memories, and it's a very nice thing that my grandpa did for me, which I am very thankful for, and it was a nice touch of him to take me there. The second thing, this represents my ethnicity and culture because my grandpa has been making leather, and leather is very much used in Mexico, and a lot of Mexicans love leather, and it's always going to be needed in Mexico. It's never going to go out of fashion. The second thing that I have would be chocolate. So this isn't like your typical average chocolate. This is actually chocolate made from scratch. My mom's side of the family, they love, and I mean love, to eat chocolate that is made from scratch. So they will make chocolate and sell it, and also bring it to the US and sell. They literally bring pounds and pounds of chocolate over here, obviously labeled and licensed and all that good stuff. They worked really hard to make their chocolate and they won't even give me the recipe, so that is something that I look forward to hopefully one day learning about it. There's a lot of history in chocolate in Mexico because apparently back then my mom's side of the family, they would sell and make chocolates, and they would also make chocolates for soldiers during the war, which was something that I found very fascinating. When my mom told me, she was like, yeah, like we would make chocolate and take it. That's what they would eat. What do you think they would drink their hot water with? And I was like, I did not know that. Interesting. So yeah, I didn't know. That was something interesting that she told me that some of her cousins actually did. The third thing that I have here, which represents me spiritually, would be these little guys. So like I said in the beginning, both my parents have been enforced religion. They have been enforced religion, which is something that I learned about. They have been for generations, because they would go to school and they would also learn in school all about that. My parents both were sent to schools that would talk about their faith and they would practice their faith. And these two little crosses are from retreats. So I've actually done 2 different retreats in Mexico. So my mom has a bunch of these that they give you when you finish the retreat. So this is very sentimental and interesting and very important for me, because I'm glad that my mom, when she was younger, she would serve the church, and then her mom served the church, and then now I'm serving the church as well. So it's nice that I'm following in their footsteps, even though my grandmother is no longer here with us. And I know when she was younger, she had told me, like, you know what, I want you in the future to grow up and also have a bunch of these little crosses that are kind of souvenirs of the retreats that I've helped. And it's really nice to learn about how in Mexico they practice their faith very differently than here in the US. It's very beautiful. 2 things that I liked about this assignment was that I was actually able to dig into my family's ethnicity, culture, how they were raised, where so much chocolate has come from, learning all about the chocolate that they have. The leather, I've always known that leather was important to my family, but I didn't know that it was so needed in Mexico. And that, you know what, if you didn't have leather, it would be so weird if you during that time. This assignment is very relevant because it made me realize how connected we are in a way. For example, my family having hazel and green eyes because my great grandmother got with a Spaniard, and then my aunt, and well, my great aunts. So that's why we have hazel eyes, was something that I didn't know. It was very fascinating to learn about that. I could say, you know what, that makes sense. Like, yeah, my family, or like the chocolate, that they would take chocolate. I did not know that when they told me that. I was like, I was just learning about that in class. How during the war, I was like, what? They're like, yeah, you know, we would have, you know, chocolate. And since my grandmother had 17 children, it's a big family. They spread it out. And then her mother also, I believe she had 10 biological children, and 5 from another man. So it's crazy. It's crazy to see how connected we all are. And that would be it for my video. Thank you for watching. Bye.